Okay guys, well, today we're going to show you guys how to create a exchanging senses. So here you can see we have a base person, and then on top we've incorporated different people. Pretty simple. So we have the layer, we have a masking layer for each of the following, okay? So let's go ahead and kind of start all over and show you how we did that. So we're going to open everything up. All right, I got everything here, and first of all, you want to make sure that the people are looking in the same direction. So kind of look at their ears, okay, and see if they're looking, in the same direction. You're going to select all threes by holding down Shift, okay, and you want to go through and change the exposure and contrast and highlights all the way down. I already did this, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Open Images. So we're going to use him as my base person here, and we're going to grab her eyes. So we're going to grab our lasso, and even though we want her eyes, we want to select a large amount, almost her entire head. Okay, we're going to use the Move tool. We're going to move this right on top. And we notice that it's a little bit small. So we're going to free transform this. So you can go to Edit, Free Transform. You can see it's Command T on your keyboard. I'm going to hold on Shift and Option at the same time. This magnifies it from the center out. Okay. We can always go back and recenter it, resize this. And we're going to go ahead and click on our masking. So you click on the masking. This creates another mask. And when we erase, we're erasing here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my eraser, and we're going to make sure that my hardness is set to 0. We're going to go around the outside, making sure white is on top. We're going to erase. A little bit big. And if we erase too much, okay, we can put the black on top and get it back. All right, pretty simple. So instead of having to come over here every time, on your keyboard, if you hit X, that reverses it. You can see, like in there, it says X. All right, so when white's on top, it's erasing. When black's on top, it's getting it back. And that only works if you're on the masking layer. Okay, it's actually kind of neat if it's big eyes. All right, that's with blending that in. All right, show you again. Let's grab her mouth. Again, grab a large amount. Okay, we can grab this, bring this over, drag it down, free transform, Command T. And here I kind of look at our jaw bone here. That matches, right? We're going to go ahead and hit the masking layer. We're making sure over here, hit E for eraser. We're going to just erase. Look how easy that is. There we go. And then you can see before and after. Hello. Anyways, if let's say you had some colors, let's say she's a little bit too red right here, okay? So now you can kind of come down and we can kind of fix that. So we can click on this, all right? And we want to do, I usually do two things. I click on color balance, that adds a color balance, and I'm going to go ahead and hit levels, all right? Now if I went ahead and just moved my levels, you can see it's adjusting everything below that layer. Okay, let's close the color palette. Let's watch this. This kind of comes up. All right, I'm going to move this up so you guys can see what's happening. All right, so if I go to my levels, you can see anything, it's happening from here down, okay? So if you channel this, see how it puts that little arrow? And if I did that for both, that's targeting that layer. These two are now targeting this layer. So if I go ahead and now made it blue, it's making everything on that blue. Okay, so I look at it and say, okay, hey, maybe I need it a little bit less cyan. And I go through and I change this just a teeny bit. And I go to my levels, right? And I change my, this is my midtones here. And that's your shadows. That's your highlights. And kind of tweak this. So everybody's skin is different. And by using these two, you can match them up pretty close. Okay, another trick, what you could do is when you erase, try erasing just, you know, to kind of blend it in. Instead of erasing 100%, you know, get into detail, and then you can start to kind of erase just a little bit. You can see I'm like erasing a little bit, a little bit. Let's get it back, because that looked kind of weird. There we go. Looks pretty good. All right, so that's kind of what you have to do. So for your assignment, you have to have one base person and 3 other people, okay? Yeah, and then you're going to save that as a PSD, so make sure you go to File, Save As. You name it your first and last name. Make sure you keep it as a Photoshop document, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it and see how you built this. Now, if you accidentally erased, let's say here, you see how this, you know, her face is still there. This is what I want to, you know, this is what's showing. So if you accidentally erase, okay, on her face, you can see that I permanently erased that, right? So that's not, I should see this completely intact, okay, your entire photo, and all your erasing happens on the masking layer. Always, always. In Photoshop, you always make a masking layer and you erase on the masking. Always. You never erase on the layer. I mean, you can, but that's like the very basic. You should really use the masking, because you're not married to it. You're not, you know, you can always go back and edit. A year from now, 20 years from now, you can always go back and change that. Okay? And the same thing with these. If you know, later on, if I decide, oh, you know, it's still a little bit too much, I can always go back and change it, right? Or completely shut those off. All right, so, all right, guys. Well, thanks. Thanks for another exciting lesson, right? Take care.